Hi there, welcome back to the lab. Today we're going to look at the Reptile Incubator that we bought from Aliexpress, and we're going to look at it in two ways. We're going to look at it from a product perspective, and we're also going to look at it from a seller perspective. So let's take a look at the product. The product is sold as a home car 25-litre intelligent automatic incubator of high quality for reptiles and reptile egg keeping and breeding, and it's thermostatically controlled. On AliExpress, it's sold by Muggle Hardware Paradise Store, who rate it 93.9% in positive feedback. Now, I think it's important to understand that these people probably aren't the manufacturer, they are simply the resellers. So this is our product that we've received. It's the incubator that we bought online from AliExpress. You can see that it's come all the way from China. And one of the first things that I notice is the extensive amount of packaging tape on the top of the box, which indicates that this has been opened a few times, resealed and opened again. This was my first indication that this wasn't in fact a new product, but had been repackaged. So let's open the package up and see what it looks like. And the first thing I notice, which reinforces my notion that this package had been opened prior to it being sent, is that the polystyrene is missing on the top of the unit. And this of course means that it could well be damaged during shipping, as the polystyrene did remain in the bottom but not on the top. As soon as I removed the item from the box, I noticed that there was damage, in fact, to the control panel. So let's take the plastic off and have a closer look. So you'll see that the button is missing, and that the lettering underneath that indicates what the buttons are for is also faded or missing, and not particularly good. But the up, down and light buttons do seem to be there. The handle is also broken. Now remember, I've just unpacked this, and this is how it was delivered to me. So not particularly good on a first impression. Now I noticed that there were buttons missing, and I thought I'd take a look inside the box and see if that button was there. And so let's take a look at how that turned out when I took the front control panel off. So I got a small screwdriver and levered off the front control panel, and the first thing I noticed was that some of the plastic lugs that hold the panel on had already been broken. And so when I first removed the panel, I also immediately noticed that the transparent plastic had been fractured at both ends. And I thought this was a little bit unusual because the button I thought may have come out, but like I've said, it wasn't in the box, which made me think that this damage had happened prior to the unit being repackaged. And I sort of figured that was a bit strange. And again, I'm thinking that this has been repackaged from a return by another customer, and just to get rid of the unit. So now I'm thinking that this unit has been repackaged and was broken and returned by a customer. There are parts missing, and I'm a little bit disappointed. So despite the fact that the unit was broken before we received it, I thought I'd plug it in and see how it performed, if it even fired up or worked, and continue the review. As with most new equipment, the best thing to do is start with the instruction manual and make sure that everything is okay and that you don't, do things to the device which are not expected. And of course, if you look at the manual, you'll see that it's completely written in Chinese, which is a language that I neither can read nor speak, and turned out to be absolutely useless. Now, this means that I don't know what the unit is supposed to do, I don't know what it can do, and more importantly, I don't know how to operate it. So not only is the unit broken, but I wouldn't know how to operate it even if it was in perfect condition. So this is starting to be really disappointing. So anyway, I've plugged the unit in and I'll turn it on, and it does light up and it gives us a current temperature probably inside the unit, and we can adjust the temperature up and down, and we'll set it to 37 degrees and hit the light button, which just sends it immediately into some sort of error state, and it's flashing eco and what looks like the error message, remembering that I can't read the manual, so I don't know exactly what it's doing. I don't know if there's codes or something that are supposed to be happening here. So I hit the light button a few more times and it eventually settles down, although it did have a bit of an attack and stayed in this state for a little while, eventually coming good. But like I say, it's been a pretty disappointing journey, and now it seems to have settled down a little bit. It does look, I think personally it's an elegant unit. I think it looks great. I think for the home enthusiast, for people doing biology and mycology, this is probably an ideal unit. Certainly you'd hope for one that is not damaged and one that does actually work, and even if it came with a manual that was perhaps English, certainly might help. But anyway, it has fired up, and despite having the broken door latch, which I think is going to be a real serious problem moving forward, let's see how it goes after 24 hours. So the unit's been running now for 24 hours, a little bit longer than 24 hours. It does seem to have held its 37 degrees. Now I just prepared up a small mycology dissection, just a little white cap mushroom, and stuck it on an agar plate, and I'll show you how to do that in another video. But you can see that it has started to take off, and like I say, you know, if the unit was delivered because it was packaged properly and wasn't broken, I would think that it's a great unit. So now let's have a look at the evaluation of both the unit itself and of the reseller or the seller from Aliexpress. Okay, so let's weigh it all up. We've got our incubator. It was delivered to us and it was damaged. I think the incubator itself is really, really good. I think it represents value for money. However, I think that the packaging and the fact that this clearly wasn't a new item, it was a repackaged item, was really, really shabby. And I don't think it was something that people should have to deal with. And so we've therefore lodged a return request with the reseller, and we'll just have to see in the follow-up video how the reseller deals with this. So let's go through and rate the product and rate the reseller. So let's take a look at the unit. I think it is a nice looking unit. I think it's very elegant. It's a stylish looking unit. It does have a fairly low power requirement for both the heating and the cooling function, which is good. It does state that it goes from 5 to 60 degrees. I haven't tested it above the 37. And the other thing too, I think it's important to realise, is that it's called a car refrigerator, but under FDA considerations for refrigeration, it should be between about 1.7 degrees and 3.3 degrees, and 5 degrees is not in that range, so I wouldn't call it a refrigerator. The other thing, of course, is that it is quite a compact unit, so I think they're the pros that the unit offers. Now, let's have a look at the cons. I think we've already mentioned it, but this is not a refrigerator. It does have a cooling function, and I think we can acknowledge that it is certainly not a refrigerator. However, it does represent a dynamic range, which means that we can use it for both cooling and for keeping things warmer. In a laboratory, that's a pretty good feature, but it is not a refrigerator. So let's take a look at Muggle Hardware Paradise Store, and let's give them a rating. They already have 93.9% positive feedback, which, depending on how you look at it, means that there may be a little room for improvement. But I immediately emailed them when I received this item, and of course I sent them some photographs. So here's the email that I sent. Hi there, the unit was broken on delivery. And then immediately followed that up with a whole bunch of images which showed the broken unit, together with an itemized list of what was broken on the unit. And I can't believe that I actually did all of this. And then, in what almost seems like the textbook stall tactic, they sent me a note saying, can you please send me a video of this? I simply replied, I've already attached all the photographs. But then it actually gave me the idea that I should actually put together a video so that I can explain it. And what it also means is that we're going to give Muggle Hardware Paradise Store the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to do a follow-up to this video to let you know exactly whether Aliexpress had to step in to help remediate the issue, and exactly what Muggle did to resolve the issue. Clearly the item was broken, clearly it wasn't a brand new item, it didn't have the original packaging, there were parts missing from the unit which could not have possibly fallen out during shipping, so, you know, it's a bit suspect to say the least. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Reptile Incubator product. Please like my channel, subscribe, and share it around if you found it useful. Otherwise, stay tuned for the follow-up, and we'll see what happens with Muggle Hardware Paradise. Thanks. Bye for now.